Hi everybody, we are Midmo Smart Home. My name is William.
I'm Aaron.
Today we've got smart devices installed throughout this apartment, and we're just going to take you through, explain each one and kind of explain how they all work. The first thing I'll go over is our video doorbell right here. This is going to work in a number of different ways. The first, obviously, someone can ring the doorbell and they'll be able to talk to them without having to get out of bed or get out of their chair. As well, we can hook this up to a family member or caregiver's account so that if someone devious is at the door ringing the doorbell, a family member or caregiver can intercept, talk to them, and lead them away. Other than that, we can also set it up with different features to where it gives an indicator light whenever it's rang and things of that nature. The next device that we have over here is a smart smoke and CO2 detector. This works just like your traditional smoke and CO2 detector, but with added smart features. If it gets set off and you have multiple in the home, you can get a notification on your phone letting you know exactly which one was actually triggered. You can also set them up with family members and caregivers on the account so that if it does go off, someone outside the home is also notified. What we also have here is an indoor security camera. Say that you have a loved one and you have the smart smoke and CO2 in their house. If that goes off, it's really great to be able to just pop in on this camera and see, is this a false alarm? Is everything okay? Or do I need to call the fire department? But there is an SOS call button built into the camera. So if they're in distress and they need you to look at that camera, they will hit that button and it's gonna ring out to your phone, tablet, or whatever you're signed in on. A smart light in this lamp, just kind of general functions. They can turn it on and off with their voice. We can change the color to indicate certain events, things like that. Over here, we have our virtual aid hub. This is really the backbone of a lot that we do here. This is going to allow for voice commands over all of our other smart devices. It's going to have a lot of communication features. We can put our appointments in there, have reminders, anything we really need. For example, Alexa, when is my next dentist appointment?
This is what I found. Dentist on November 5th at 3 p.m.
This can also be set up with certain permissions and programming to where a caregiver or family member can instantly connect to a video call without any input from the person in the home. That way, if they are not able to get to the device or if they are in distress or anything's keeping them from actually being able to answer that call, it'll just connect automatically. Alexa, help. So on this one, we've set it up with a one-word command. I actually have my Alexa at home off-site, and that's the one that we've paired it with. What you'll notice is the camera does shift around a little bit. That guy in here will move and focus. Last but not least, you'll notice a little activity sensor above the door. That is designed specifically with certain settings so that if someone tries to leave in the middle of the night, one, a family member or caregiver can be notified, and two, it can prompt different routines that can help stop them in their tracks and lead them back to bed. For example, say it's 3 in the morning and someone in the home is headed towards the front door and they're trying to leave. They might get a response like this.
It's after 10 p.m. Please go back to bed. If you need assistance, use your SOS button. Do not leave the house unless this is an emergency.
And you'll see that our lights did turn purple with that. That is by design. All certain events are going to be tied back to a color of light change, and that's going to let the person in the home know, hey, you know, this light means that, and they're going to build habits around that.
Gives them more of a visual aid.
Visual aid,
kind
perfect. Thank you, Aaron. And let's say caregiver gets there every day around 11 o'clock. We can schedule an announcement like this.
Martha, your caregiver Aaron will arrive in 30 minutes to take you to your doctor's appointment.
Perfect. And then I'll let Aaron take over from here.
All right, and as Will mentioned, just kind of go off of the motion sensors. If you look above as you walk this way, you'll see we have one facing the kitchen, another one facing the living room. We've got one in the bedroom here. And if you'll follow me this way, we've got another one in the restroom. And then we can also place them in the shower if we want to monitor, track if they're taking their showers, taking care of their hygiene. What we've got here is, if you'll take a look, this is our own version. It's a residential version of what you'll see in hospitals a lot of times. We place these here around the house. One of these points that are common for slips, falls, accidents. That way they can access it if they're standing, if they were to fall in or out of the shower. You simply push that and that'll reach out. That's your distress call. If you push that, that will actually call out to anyone you designate, and it'll alert them and alarm until you acknowledge it. That way it doesn't just do 1 or 2 beeps and then if you're not around it, you miss it. It'll keep going off until each person actually acknowledges. Another thing is, if you'll see here, we have another Alexa here. This is to kind of go off the other one. It works as our whole home intercom system. It's a way that no matter if mom or dad or somebody's in the shower, we need to get in touch with them. They can still hear it and accept the call even if they're in here. Or if they're in distress and they need to call out, they can also use that to call. Or if they just want to listen to some good music in the shower.
All right, first and foremost, exactly like what we have in the bathroom, we do have another SOS button in here for the same reason. If they're in bed and they don't have their wearable on, they can just reach over to their nightstand and tap this button. Next, we have a Bluetooth pulse oximeter. This is going to slide over their fingertip, and there will be an app on the phone which will track all their vitals. There is still an application available for it, which the person in the home can log into, as well as family members and caregivers, so everyone can track those vitals together and get a good idea of the person's health. Next, you'll see over on the windows, we do have contact sensors on those. The main function of those is just to let us know if the window is open or not. While that may seem pretty minimal, if it's the dead of winter and they're opening their windows, someone should probably be informed. If anyone is a habitual energy waster and leaving their windows open while the AC is running, we can pair those and program them with a smart thermostat to where if the windows are open, the AC will automatically shut off. And the same goes for the heat.
In addition, it helps those if there's any unwanted intruders. If that were to get open, you can get an alert, if there's somebody trying to get in the house, preying on them.
Exactly. We can set those to where during daytime hours, if it's opened, there won't be any alert. But if it's opened in the middle of the night, there will be an alert. Camera. Yes, a camera in the bedroom. I know that might seem kind of odd to some people, but if you'll notice the angle and how that is set up, that is by design. That's set up to where you really only see about knee height. The reason for that, one, at night to see if anyone's fallen out of bed, and during the day to make sure no one's laying on the floor incapacitated. We do also have bed pressure sensors available to where if they get out of bed, you will be notified. And what's great about that, if you do get that notification that they're out of bed, you can always check in that camera and see, did they get out of bed on their own or did they fall out of bed? This is going to be used as an indicator light for the bedroom. They might not be able to hear a smoke alarm. They might not be able to hear the doorbell. So if someone were to ring their front doorbell, it could turn to green. Or if a fire alarm were to go off, it could turn to red. Maybe a leak detector gets triggered and it'll turn to blue. All of these different lights can correspond to a little chart which will tell them what's going on if they see which color. We also here have a smart TV up in the corner. It's a little bit different than your typical smart TV. This one is designed to work properly with our voice hub to where that it's going to respond to all of our commands. We can navigate on the TV, select our shows, all with the sound of our voice. Just because someone can't work remote doesn't mean they shouldn't be able to watch their favorite TV shows. Alexa, play Bob's Burgers on Hulu.
Getting Bob's Burgers from Hulu.
And working on a signature drink, you want to try it? Oh, yeah.
Alexa, turn off the TV.
Okay.
Perfect. Aaron's going to take you guys to the kitchen and finish up with you.
To continue off those sensors Will was talking about on the windows, we also use those and program those in a way to monitor food and water intake. We place them on refrigerators, designate a food pantry. As you will see here, the light goes off. We know if they're going in. If it's not opening at all, that food pantry isn't opening, odds are mom and dad hasn't eaten. In addition, you'll see these are lit up. Purple from before. They can change to red if there's a fire, green if there's somebody at the door, or blue if there's a leak. Which actually brings me to this point here. This is our automatic leak detection and shutoff valve. This is a really cool thing. What we do is we can place as many of these around the house at common spots that are known to leak. One is being a dishwasher. You'll see we've got that. That's not where they stay. They go tucked in where the water actually connects in. So if there is a leak, it'll detect it right away. Same thing on a refrigerator, washing machine, water heater, etc. And how this works is, I'll just demonstrate this here. So this valve is in an open position. We've kind of got this rigged in a way to demonstrate what it would be in a real water line. So if this guy were to get wet, I'll go ahead and just place this in here. Then that guy will automatically shut off, preventing any further leaks. If you'll go back to Will, he will finish it off for you guys.
Alrighty guys, there are a few things we don't have on display today, just because some stuff can't easily be installed here. One is going to be a medication dispenser. These can be as far as a whole device that sits on the countertop. You store pills inside of it. When it's ready for their dose, a light will flash. They can hit that button and it's going to dispense their pills for them. Another thing we have is a smart thermostat. It's going to give us the abilities to set up routines, monitor what they're keeping their temperature at, make sure they're keeping it at a correct temperature and not running it real hot or running it real cold. It's just going to make it a lot easier for them to be able to adjust the temperature, especially using their voice. Smart locks and door openers basically go together. A smart lock is going to replace their typical deadbolt, and then they're going to be able to lock and unlock the door with the sound of their voice, a fingerprint, an app on their phone, or even a code. We can schedule this with routines to where it automatically locks at a certain hour or automatically unlocks whenever they arrive home. As well, family members and caregivers with the correct permissions will even be able to unlock the door themselves upon arrival. Door openers are going to allow them to physically open the door or close the door using the sound of their voice, an app on their phone, a clicker button sometimes, or whatever, whatever's going to work for them.